Hey YouTube, so today we're going to do a follow-up on the Silvertone Reissue 1303 U2 body style. After my review, I sent it to the RBI Music folks who currently own Silvertone, and a very nice fellow there got back in touch with me and answered some of my questions about the guitar, and also gave me some insight into how RBI is planning to use the Silvertone brand and what the future of this brand is. So stay tuned and we're going to take a look at this. So in terms of solving some mysteries for me, very helpful information. I learned that this was made during the Samick years. I knew that for a long time Silvertone as a brand had been owned by Samick. I also have another guitar, this fella, which is a model SIK-1. And so this was just a rebranded Samick guitar. Very basic, but a nice little super strat. Very, very inexpensive guitar, and basically well made. Samick as a brand is a lot like Cort, which is another of the Asian manufacturers based out of Korea and Indonesia, and make a lot of the import guitars for the larger companies. And so Samick, you might not know the brand offhand because primarily they're making other guitars for other brands. So this was owned, the Silvertone brand was owned by Samick, and when they did the reissue series about 10 years ago, as I understand it, they started trying to lean into their past roots, but they struggled to get a hold on the market. And so this guitar is actually from 2014. It's a new old stock guitar, as in when RBI, this is a music company that's based out of Texas, when they bought the Silvertone brand in 2020, they inherited all of the old stock. And so what they've been doing for the last 4 years is working towards a kind of re-release of the brand. And we'll talk about that in just a minute, but some really neat things I found out about the guitar. For one, confirmed this was a Samick era guitar and confirmed the year. I noticed that it did not have a serial number on it, but I was informed that there are serial numbers, but they're on the inside of the neck where it joins the body. So you actually have to take the neck off to get to the serial number. Now, it was also, there was an issue that I raised in my video about it just coming with this very generic paperwork, and the box looked generic, everything about it looked extremely generic, didn't say Silvertone anywhere. That is a result of these old stock guitars, since they in 2025 are releasing new, another redesign of the reissue, another redesign of the model. They're getting rid of the old ones, they're getting rid of the Samick era and just liquidating whatever's left. So that's why they ended up in Pro Audio Star's hands, and that's why this one ended up in my hands as a bargain basement. So this is actually a 10-year-old guitar. It's just new in terms of it just came out of a box, and it was well kept enough that to look at it, it wasn't rusty or anything, so they must have kept it in a good warehouse and so forth, but it is old stock. So all of my comments and everything are therefore going to be reflective of the Samick era U2 1303 reissue, and I'd be very interested to get my hands on one of the new ones that they're going to be coming out with. They're debuting it at NAMM coming up in 2025. Silvertone, via the RBI Industries, they have been working on relaunching the brand, redesigning their products, doing new marketing and so forth, and so they are going to be releasing a U2, a 1303, and they're also going to be releasing a baritone version of it at NAMM along with a new pedal. And throughout next year, the plan is that they are supposed to be every 90 days releasing a new product to the market. So a lot of really cool stuff coming up. Again, they've been putting a lot of time into engineering, getting ready for this launch, and sounds like, if you are interested in the Silvertone brand at all, this would be a time to start paying some attention to them. Maybe they'll come out of obscurity now that they're out of the Samick era, they're back in a U.S. company's hands, and they're starting to redesign, renew the brand, so to speak. So again, the lack of marketing in terms of the box was generic and the paperwork was generic. I think that is a result of it being repackaged by Pro Audio Star as part of their liquidation process. So again, all my comments are not reflective of the new ones that are going to be coming out in the market next year in 2025. This is the former version, the Samick era version. But I'm very interested I'm very, very interested to see what they do with the brand. It really has kind of faded into obscurity during the Samick years and was just like the Super Strat we looked at, just repackaged stuff, and then they started to go a little into the vintage market, but just didn't really find their footing. But maybe now that RBI has a hold of them, maybe they've got a future again. I'm very interested to see how they develop, what kind of processes, what kind of quality control, the craftsmanship, what the elements of redesign, how have they retuned these, what problems have they fixed. So it'll be very interesting to watch what happens with the Silvertone brand going forward.